We got to hold it up.
Let's stay seated for the call to worship. If you would read the bold print, I'll begin. Oh, sing to the beloved a new song.
For love has done marvelous things.
By the strength of your indwelling presence,
We too are called to do great things.
we are set free through God's love's forgiveness and truth.
Faithfulness,
All the ends of the earth have seen the glory of love's eternal flame.
That's my turn. Make a joyful noise to the beloved, all the earth. Break forth into grateful song and sing praises. Yes, sing songs of praise, extolling love's way. Lift up your hearts with gratitude and joy. Let the voices of all people blend in harmony. In unison, let the sea laugh, all that fills it, the world and those who dwell in it. Let the waters clap their hands and the hills ring out with joy before the beloved who irradiates love to all the earth. For the functioning of the world with truth and justice, hanging for creation.
Hi, I'm Tim Gillen. I'm coming to you from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I'm a longtime member of KC. I enjoy meeting with my care group each week, and it has been a gift to plan worship in September with open eyes and heart in our natural world. Welcome to folks online and to those gathered in our carriage house. However you got here this morning, we hope that this time will support you and your good ideas on how to keep showing up together with deep curiosity and strength. Let's lift our voices together. Please rise as you are able. We will sing new words to a tune that may be familiar. The song is in the dawn of the ages. We're glad you're here.
From the birds in the sky to the deer in the woods, she looked all around and said it was good. One God, creator of us all, in you we find our life and call. Great Spirit and source of birth, we praise your name in all the earth. In the dew of the morning, with her works almost done, the Creator said at the rising of the sun, only one thing is lacking from the earth far and wide, the children of earth living here by my side. One God, creator of us all, in you we find our life and call. Great Spirit and source of birth, we praise your name in all the earth. So she reached down and gathered up the clay in her hand, and she shaped and formed new people from the land. Then she breathed into each her life-giving soul. She gave each a longing to love and behold. One God, creator of us all,
invite my friends from the back out there. We've got our kids, our Casey Kids Youth. If you could come and join me up here. I see Ada coming this way and Becca. Becca's got a skip or a gallop in her step this morning. I'm so glad you're bringing your energy up here with us. I'm Pastor Claire, and it's great to be among you today. My pronouns are she and hers. And I am just so glad to be in the circle with you, and Dale is with us too. Dale, thank you for joining us from the worship planning group. So we plan worship with a different group of people each month. And if you look around, this first row over here is filled with planners. Can you wave your hands, those who help plan worship this whole month? We're so very grateful because we've been looking at a particular book, and we talked about it the last couple weeks. And many of you were here, we talked about different things from nature. And today, we talked about, I know we talked about pecans one week. We put them in overalls and then they spilled out all over the ground. And then last week, we talked about the lichen that we found on sticks, right? And then today, we are going to talk about salmon. Salmon, yeah, fish. That's right, fish that live in streams. Oh, Becca's got something very pressing before we begin. Yes.
Speaking of salmon, my brother and my grandpa are going fishing right now.
Right this second, they're fishing. Well, let's think a little bit about what they might be doing, because they'll be looking for those fish that are out there in lakes or streams or ponds. And salmons really have a wonderful and amazing journey in life, right? So Mr. Don's going to put a picture up of how the salmon start off their life. Can you see if you can see how you think that might be? Those little eggs, you see them? Can you think about how squishy they would be? Kind of like those Orbeez, those little plastic things that sometimes you see. Can you think of how that would feel in your hand, how squishy that would feel to see the salmon eggs right there? They're hanging out. Where do you think that they're hanging out right now?
In the shallow river.
Yeah, in the rocky part there. They're hanging out ready to do their next thing. So as they begin to grow, so we're going to see an image of a big grown-up. So this is the egg salmon, and then we've got a grown-up version of a salmon. Man, you have to grow up a lot like a human, right? You have a lot of growing to do in your lifetime to get from that little egg to something that looks like that. They can be quite large. Has anyone out there caught a salmon before or seen one in real life, not just on a plate? Yeah, Aiden and Teresa and others. All right. So then we're just going to take a quick glance at what happens throughout that life cycle of the salmon. You go from being an egg, you see those eggs, and you see those shapes that come about as you get bigger and bigger, all the way up to that bigger size. And one of the most amazing things is as the salmon move downriver, usually, they want to go back to the very stream where they were born. So sometimes, either as often the next generation, they're always looking to go back to their original place where the eggs were, in that gravel, in that rock. So as they do so, they have to go against a strong current, and it's not always easy, and they don't all make it. But the swimming motions, can you imagine? Have you ever had to swim when into the water when it's coming at you? I guess you have to be in not just a pool water, but if you've been in a stream, or let's think about the ocean, right? Where that big wave is coming at you. Can you imagine trying to swim into that wave? That's how salmon have to work really hard to get back upstream. And then Dale's going to tell us a little bit more about that.
So when they try and get back to where they were first hatched, most of the salmon don't make it. But when they die, they give a special gift to everything around them. Yeah, they feed the bears and eagles and other things, and they bring back nutrients, particularly phosphorus and nitrogen. And that phosphorus and nitrogen helps the forest grow. The forest that then shades their place, and sometimes the trees fall into the water and the salmon get to eat part of the trees. And this is, remember last week we talked about reciprocity? This is how reciprocity works. The salmon give to the forest, and the forest gives back to the salmon. So at the end of their life, the salmon gives back the very best to the world that sustained it.
And we can be the ones who benefit from that, who I think some of us may have eaten salmon, and that's one of the things that helps keep us alive as humans on the earth as well. And if we take this example and we learn from the salmon about what they're doing, giving back of their life, being a part of the life cycle of God's creation, we're thinking about how we can give back into our families and our friends and give thanks for the food that we eat and the beautiful world we live in, like the rivers and the streams we were just seeing. So how we give back happens, one of the ways we recognize that in worship each week that we come is we have baskets that we get out. We don't catch fish in our baskets, but we do catch something in our baskets. What do we usually put in these baskets? Money. We do. We put into it our gifts, the things that we have, in order to collect them and to make kind of our stream, our living world right here possible. But we also take our resources and we do what? We send them out into other streams, right? To make sure that people that need it and places where people are hungry or otherwise need support also get our money. So I'm going to look for 2 volunteers this morning. Whoa, that's a lot of hands. Jay, please let go. Thank you. I'm going to ask that Ada, can you go with Mr. Bob over here? Oh, Emma, I keep on calling your sister's name. Please forgive me. Is Ada here today? I'll wave at you. No, she's not here. Okay. Jay, please give me the other basket. Thank you. And Becca's going to take that with Aiden. And if y'all would start collecting, we're going to hear a little bit of music as this goes around. And we're giving thanks as these baskets go around this morning for things like the ability to take care of our building. There is an envelope in the basket as we continue to raise money for our HVAC system below. And we're giving thanks for the generosity that you bring that enables us to be swimming well together. All right, we're going to hear just a little bit of music while that passes, and then we'll be able to have a prayer together. As we look into this basket, we see the gifts that people have given, and we give thanks for the ways in which people have been generous. And we say, ask God's blessing on the gifts that we have here and the blessings of our time and our energies. We also ask a blessing on all the desserts that you all are going to be giving back to the community at our lunchtime later. And in that time, we ask that we would be blessed by the food that we receive and the opportunity to continue to show love together. Amen and amen. Before you all go this morning, I want to make sure that folks know of a development that's been taking shape, and it's a blessing in large part to your ongoing prayers and also Miss Sandy's ability to hold our kids together over all of these time, as we've got some kids that have been getting older. And we know that sometimes as we get older, we need specific space. And so we have a new space where those kids who are 11 years old and older come together and have conversations. So some kids are going down with Miss Sandy each week, and some are going to have a group that's forming, and they have conversation together. And it's a wonderful opportunity for them to ask questions and learn more about being church and continue to learn lessons together too. And we have a need for volunteers who will be with those older middle school and up kids each week, and we are grateful for a new person who's also coming on board with us, Jeanette, who is somewhere in the building. if you want to, hi. Yay! Jeanette Rosso, who will be with us, she will be with that volunteer in that space downstairs with our 11 and ups. And we're so grateful. Do you want to come up here just to give us a wave? I know, not to put you on the spot. I'm sorry, Jeanette. But if everybody could just welcome her and give her a wave. We're so grateful that you're a part of our stream here at KC. All right, friends, if those friends who are 11 and up could go towards Miss Jeanette, and then we will be asking the others to go with Miss Sandy. Okay, Miss Sandy has a word.
Back in the back today before community meeting, we're having the kids cafe. It's our first one. The kids will be in their aprons. The jar is back there because, as you know, we're getting the money for the Nubby tires for the bicycles for the folks in Montana. So that's our thing. But all the desserts are provided today by your KC kids, and they'll be wearing their aprons. So be generous. Cam, you're going.
Thank you, friends. So much happening in this one moment as we give thanks for all of our motion together. So Miss Scarlett, if you'll head this way, thank you so very, very much. We're going to stay seated together as we share in our next song, We Were Born Out of the Waters. We'll stay seated.
Robin Wall Kimmerer, in the book Braiding Sweetgrass that we've been reading this month, writes about the importance and the power of ceremonies in our lives. Ceremonies, large and small, have the power to focus attention to a way of living gratefully and awake in our world. These ceremonies transcend the boundaries of the individual and resonate beyond the human realm. These acts of reverence are powerful, and they are ceremonies that magnify life. The ceremonies that persist, such as birthdays, weddings, funerals, focus only on ourselves, marking rites of personal transition. Perhaps the most universal for us is high school graduation, the ceremony that has power. Our collective good wishes as a community really do fuel the confidence and the strength of young people who are about to leave their responsibilities to the community that has supported them. Many indigenous traditions still recognize the place of ceremony in the world and focus their attention and their celebrations on other species, and even in the cycle of the seasons. In a colonist society, the ceremonies that persisted are not about land. They're about family and culture, values that are transportable from the old country. Ceremonies for the land no doubt existed there, but it seems that they do not survive immigration in any substantial way. I think that there's wisdom in regenerating them here as a means to form bonds with the land. To have agency in this world, ceremonies must persist as reciprocal, organic creations, co-creations in nature, in which the community itself creates ceremony, and ceremony creates community.
Thank you so much, and thank you to Vicki for sharing out of the wisdom of braiding sweetgrass. I'm thinking about all the life that was teeming just a moment ago with all of our kids in this space. How do we honor each one in the different motion and age and stage in which they are? And how do we acknowledge that there are milestones that come? I know this from experience lately, when an elementary school student becomes a middle school student. How do you mark that passage? We know when we look over cultures who have things like confirmation and rites of ritual that are connected to what your responsibilities are going to be in the world now as you make one more little step, like the salmon, towards adulthood. And Vicki mentioned what Robin Wall Kimmerer offers is that sense of the high school graduation. Perhaps in your mind's eye, you can go there, the pride, the pageantry, and a sense of accomplishment. We dress up with our little tassels and our robes with deep anticipation, and we celebrate because hard work has been accomplished. It's more than just a gathering, it's a ceremony because it's marking something very meaningful. Don's going to put up this slide just to help us kind of remember what Vicki has just said and allow that to sit with us about what ceremony can do. It focuses our attention and intention, elevating a simple gathering or action from the mundane to the sacred, taking time to pause and really acknowledge all that is before us. For Robin Wall Kimmerer, it also finds a way of celebrating reciprocity with the earth, offering thanks in return for what has been received from the land and from the Creator. It unites communities, right? Reinforcing communal values and accountability. And it transfers teachings, honoring a living memory, a way for people to remember to remember. These acts help pass on traditional knowledge and values about how to live respectfully and well on the planet. And so it is that she invites us to see ceremony not just in human milestones, but in the rhythms of creation. And in a chapter located at Cascade Head, Oregon, she writes about the return of the salmon to the rivers of the Pacific Northwest, describing them indeed like it is a high school graduation. Indigenous communities gather to honor the salmon's journey, igniting a controlled fire as an act of ancestral and ecological stewardship. But then she imagines herself out there as time seems to stand still. What if we all saw the cycles of nature, the return of salmon, the blooming of wildflowers, the migration of birds, like I saw the geese on the lake this past week as I was running by, suddenly flock and fly up and take off southward? What if we pause like we do with the lichen, as I got 3 messages from people after church last Sunday talking about the lichen on the trees, what it was like to really realize that they're out there for the discovering. It's as if we are being asked to live with the Psalms. Kimmerer Vision challenged us to expand our understanding of ceremony. What if we saw these cycles of nature as sacred events worthy of our reverence? Can we imagine being so taken by natural life that we dare to arrive at a river adorned in our best self, singing and dancing in thanksgiving for the renewal of the world? Now I want to share with you a moment, because it's one thing to read a book, whether it's the sacred reading like the Bible or something that I've found to be so sacred like braiding sweetgrass. It's one thing to read it and digest it, and it's another after some time has passed to remember it. Do you know what I mean? Those things that make an impression, and you go back and you say, I think there was something really important here, and you pick it back up off the shelf and you say, what was it teaching me? That's the kind of interaction I've had with this text, because I heard a story this past summer and I said, oh, this reminds me so greatly. What am I supposed to do in relation to this news story? Is there a way that I can join in on the celebration I'm hearing about, just as Robin Wall Kimmerer has invited me? So after a year after having read this book, I came across a news story that really felt like a living echo of this chapter in particular, thinking about the swimming salmon and how to give thanks. And I'm about to show you a short video capturing this. On July 11th, 2025, an Indigenous youth paddle expedition completed a 310-mile paddle down the Klamath River. This is in Oregon, south of where Cascade Head is. And it was the first full journey from source to sea since the removal of 4 dams in 2024. They trained for this moment, anticipating the restoration of the river's natural flow. And it was a new ceremony because it had taken tremendous work by many groups to get those dams removed. This was a journey of justice, new tradition, and partnership with creation, but it had taken extraordinary work to make it all happen. Let's watch now.
We're here at the very tail end of the Klamath River since it's been undammed. We're here with a few dozen Indigenous youth from throughout the Klamath River Basin, and we have been kind of training for the last couple years to descend this river in a good way as one big unit.
You know, everyone in my family we've always lived by the river. Since time immemorial, that's where we have lived. It has been a fight against the dams for over 100 years, you know, and all of our families have been affected by the dams.
It was very, very evident through all the biological effects, like through the fish kills and the algal blooms in the rivers, that the dams were a huge detriment to not only like the flora and fauna of this area, but also the people. The salmon is one of our main sources of food, and only 2 weeks after the dams came out, we saw salmon returning to their spawning grounds they hadn't seen in 100 years.
Our ancestors would be proud because this is what they have been fighting for, you know? I kind of feel guilty, like I haven't done enough to be fighting, and now I get to have this relationship of joy. And I gotta remember, that's what our ancestors fought for. They fought for that so that we could feel this joy with the river.
Took not just one village, not just one tribe, not just one interest group to move the 4 mighty dams of industry. It took concerted time, advocacy, patience, voices coming together against the seemingly impossible. And there to witness it were the leaders of a next generation. They were building upon the persistence of their ancestors and trusting that concerted collaboration could bring about monumental change, greater respect for the earth, and the renewal of living cycles among people in the rivershed. And did you hear how quickly the salmon, when there was a clearing, reverted to their natural way of being, even after 100 years? A regeneration that renews us, imagining that some harm, even the action that we take, can be reversed. When I dare to read the news today, I feel I am so far from what feels like the natural values I've been taught to aspire to. I struggle to instill values in my children. Seeing my son try to snatch the offering basket tonight or this morning reminds me of that. Knowing that what they see and hear all around clashes with what I've learned in church, of loving my neighbor, feeding the hungry, and welcoming the immigrant. And I long to wake up one day, and not come to the slow and steady re-realization that so much is on fire and so much is at a state in this country. Hope can feel scarce. But then I come against stories like this, and I don't know about you, but they take over my heart. People who for hundreds of years and maybe more have held ceremonies for swimming salmon. And there are ceremonies on riverbanks that continue, prayers offered, songs sung, dances danced. And I think of the impossible odds that massive dams would come down and teenagers would band together to boat a river. And I also think about things closer to home, about how 2 weeks ago, a steady troop of 50 marching people walked the roads through sun and pouring rain to alight on our doorstep here at the Carriage House. Every day of their march, a ceremonious trek. From Philadelphia to DC, they were advocating for due process, for the preservation of freedoms in this country, and for the uplift of the most vulnerable. And even with tired feet, and I saw them tending to those blisters up close, they saw their very bodies and spirits as a willing contribution into something larger than themselves. And they alighted here, and here they found a shared meal, beautiful music, and words of encouragement, thanks to you. So that each step they took on the land of the Piscataway, of which we reside here in Maryland, and as we were reminded by emissary Adam Green that evening, was keeping in a spirit of friendship, of intention with the people and the land. For even the greatest of dangers that we can enact on the land and ourselves, as we have repeatedly done, cannot prevent the revival and regeneration of new ceremony, visible signs of reciprocity, mutual love and respect between people, land, and all creation. Of course, we don't need to wait for a formal event to operate well in this world. We can create ceremony on our own walks, in our prayers, in our sacred garden, in the ways that we come together. And it is in learning from Indigenous neighbors that we refuse to abandon the sacred. We are invited to stand by the river, not to just admire it, but to bless it and offer prayers of thanksgiving for the ceremony that can shift seeming impossible odds. And all of that takes a community. So here is a prayer of my heart this morning, that our ceremonies in each place that they generate as individuals and together as KC be acts of love and gratitude, that we give thanks for the salmon, the soil, the stars, and we can sing and dance and pray for the renewal of the world. We can work to change things, small and large, that put us in right relationship with the earth and with one another. I ask that you take a moment now in your own quietude. We'd have an opportunity to hear briefly from one another in response to this work of ceremony. As ceremony helps us to be in right relationship, what on your current journey helps you to feel in right relationship with our Creator and world?
May we pray, really silently, or if you'd like to pray aloud. Oh God, this is the day you have made. We rejoice and glad in this day that we could come and worship together. We are grateful for all we have received this week. May we be aware of your love each day this coming week. We ask for your love and help on those who couldn't be with us today. Lend courage to their hearts, skill and strength to those who would help heal them. And as we go out together, May this Iroquois prayer go with us. May all I say and all I do be in harmony with thee. God within me, God beyond me, and maker of the trees. Amen.
Thank you and amen, Mary Jane. We have the opportunity to hear a few announcements this morning. One, you may have heard from the Kids Cafe. We are having community meeting right after worship, so we're going to have an opportunity to have lunch together. We hope you'll stay as we go over some of the business of the church. All are most welcome to that experience. And also, I believe that Bob wanted to introduce Aiden, so you're welcome to come up. Aiden was so gracious to be helping pass the mics this morning and helping with the baskets. Bob, could you take a moment to introduce him to us?
Come on up. I was never this tall when I was 15. When I was 16, I said, whoops, okay. I was 2 inches shorter and I had to go back and get my driver's license changed after I was 17. And look at this guy, he's bigger than I am. Aiden has joined my household, and I'm hoping he's there at least for the next 2 years or longer. And he comes via the Department of Social Services in Harford County, and I think we have a good fit there because he loves going across the street where my daughter and husband, they have 11 horses across the street from me. So he likes going over there and visit, right?
Yeah, I work on a farm.
He wants to work on the farm, and he has a long school ride each day because he goes to the, what's the name of that school? He goes Shepherd Pratt High School over in Reisterstown, and that's a long ride there. And you're supposed to stay in your seat when you're on that bus and everything.
Can't talk either.
Can't talk either. So if you could say hi to him, and he was so curious when I was having my care group, and I said, well, you see that guy over there? He's an astronomer. And you see that lady over there? She lives in Frederick. And then that lady over there is Northern Arizona, I believe. I said, we have people from all different places. And he says, how can I join that group then? And I got the impression he thought Claire was like the school teacher leading a meeting there. It's funny how we all work out these things. So, Aiden, welcome to you. I can. So Aiden has been, unfortunately, have a victimized upbringing. He was dumped at the doorstep of a police station and abandoned there. And he's been in homes all around. You know, the one in Catonsville used to be called the German Children's Home. Now it's just the Children's Home. So we think we have a good fit for the next 2 years, making 18, maybe longer. So doing that.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Thank you, Aiden, for entrusting us with your story. It hasn't been an easy one, and the fact that you've come together with us today and been willing for us to hear some of the details of your journey, we don't take that lightly, and we hope that you'll be able to enjoy lunch today and come back and see us as you're able. And as you can hear, it's important that we're alongside you in the midst of your milestones and the big motions you have. He didn't even tell the whole story, so Aiden's got more to share. So you're going to need to keep coming back because we'll have many stories of which to share. Just checking in about ongoing announcements. Of course, at the community meeting, we'll have an opportunity to hear more. Randy, if you would make your way up for your announcement at this time.
Thank you, Claire. I'm speaking, of course, on the needs of the day center in Jessup. And I did a little background work, and I discovered that in the KC directory, there are 125 people. Not all of them are here. Some are scattered throughout the United States and maybe even beyond that. But 25 of you have signed up for food, for 125 people. So you can see the perspective there, that it's like you are feeding all of KC in terms of quantities. We have everything we need except one Sloppy Joe. You don't need that anymore. Okay, thank you. 26. And if anybody wants to do desserts, so they can look on the Perfect Potluck thing to see what it says. I was reminded that the government shutdown may happen the night before we serve our food, and that may very well be traumatizing to our guests. And it was suggested that I point out that we may be considered more reliable than the U.S. government.
How would the school teacher respond to that comment? I don't know. I'm going to invite our musicians to come up as we prepare to hear our sending forth from Amy LaBelle Campbell. We're so grateful for Liz Fixon and for Teresa and Lori and Neil, who are giving of their talents this morning. For all the ways that they're contributing over the course of our musical life together, we give thanks. So as we are going to hear from Amy LaBelle Campbell, and then as soon as she is finished, if you would rise, and we will join together in what we hope is a dance for the renewal of the world.
Thank you for sharing our journey with braiding sweetgrass. Sweetgrass is a sacred tribal plant. The metaphor of the braid is the intertwining of many streams of wisdom. May this blessing widen our view and curiosity for the world.
Swimming